Sofrito lovers, this is Ben Ramos bringing you this week's mukbang from my palatial home here in the Northwest Bronx. The Bronx is the home of hip hop and salsa. I am bringing you today a nice little Caribbean mix. I got some arroz con habichuela, not gandules, arroz con habichuela, a white rice stewed with red beans. I've got some quimbombo, or otherwise known as okra, some Dominican style stewed chicken, pollo guisado, and a nice little piece of yuca right here. A nice little piece of yuca right here. All from Food Fair Fresh, this wonderful supermarket on Fordham Road, where they have an excellent steam table buffet of like Latino goodness, Caribbean Latino goodness. Sofrito lovers, how are you? I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, I got a story for you because I was on Fordham Road after work and just sharing a little bit about the Bronx. For those of you who might be new, who don't know me, my name is Ben Ramos. I live in the Bronx, close by to Fordham Road. Fordham Road is one of the biggest shopping centers in New York City, up here in the Northwest Bronx. So Fordham Road has everything. If you're looking for something, it's in Fordham Road. If you grew up uptown, or if you grew up uptown Manhattan and in the Bronx, inevitably you would go shop on a Saturday, Sunday, or Friday at Fordham Road, because Fordham Road is this giant road that has every single shop you could ever imagine, every type of food, every type of shop you can imagine, every store. So Fordham is always like this, llenito de gente, like full of people. So wherever there's people, there's drama. So I'm on the Walgreens. I'm going to Walgreens, going to get some of my diabetic medication. I'm just minding my happy business, just walking, and I walk by one of the major bus stops, and that's when it happened. Sofrito lovers, yo, this is the Bronx, and the Bronx is filled with a lot of passionate / crazy / volatile / emotional people. And there was this guy, I would say he was a teenager, maybe late teens, early 20s, keeping the bus from moving because he was having an argument from the street, holding the bus door open, having an argument with this girl. I don't know if it was his girlfriend or whatever, just saying shit, cursing at her, calling her a bitch, all of this stuff. Of course, I have no idea what happened. I don't know if they're friends or dating or who knows. All it is that hay un escándalo, like they are yelling and screaming. And he starts telling her to come outside, to get off of the bus. And he was squaring up. I was like, is he trying to fight this girl? Now, mind you, let me make something clear. Disclaimer. Normally, I see stuff like that where people are screaming and causing a massive scene. I walk by it, I look at it for 2 seconds, and I keep on going. I have this rare and unique ability to mind my own business because street folks, hood rats, people, you never know when somebody's going to pull out a gun, pull out a knife. You never know when people's friends are going to pull out a gun, pull out a knife. You just don't know. And unlike other looky-loo voyeurs, I keep it pushing. The minute static gets a little crazy, I'm not standing around for it. Of course, there's a crowd, people watching, people with their cameras, like, trying to get clout on World Star, like all of that. Me, I will admit, I was slightly captivated. A mí no me gusta el bochinche or el revolú, pero me entretiene. I don't like gossip, and I don't like drama and craziness, but it is entertaining. So I will admit, I did stop within the vicinity. I used, good. I made a good choice. I said, I want to watch, but let me get a good, respectable distance away so that if anything pops off, I can run or be out of there real quick and not have to deal with any situations. So I said, let me be judicious. Let me find a place where I can stand, where I can see the drama, hear the drama, but not be a part of the drama. Folks, sofrito lovers, normally I would walk away. I'd be like, I don't got time for hood rats and stuff. But it was just entertaining. They were yelling and screaming. Yelling and screaming and being all hood ratish. And I just was in the mood. Homeboy's yelling and screaming, holding the door of the bus open, telling her to come out. I'ma fuck you up. Like, he was straight up just threatening her, calling her everything. She was yelling back. She was like, she was telling him things like, if I go out there, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Like, it was just, incredible. So eventually she gets off the bus with two of her friends. Mind you, cops have been called because cops are like in the area. It's Fordham, so cops are always in the area, unfortunately. Fortunately and unfortunately, we'll get into the politics of that later. But then the fight ensues. And this one dude was going up against these three girls. And these were not three little, like, small little victim girls. These were some three robust Ronda Rousey, except Latina, type of girls. And they were just squaring off with homeboy. And, back in my day, 100 years ago when I was a kid, you fought. You kind of stayed in a relatively small area. These kids now like to do gymnastics all over the place. So that's another reason why I was trying to be judicious, because I'm like, I know kids bounce around all over the place and like, you can very easily get caught up in a punch. One time, I digress, quick little tangent. One time I did something similar. I was watching a fight and I had nothing to do with the fight, but because they started hopping around like bunnies everywhere, I got hit by a straight punch because everybody's jumping around. And when they jump around, they like to get behind you or in front of you. Like, there's some people when they fight, they try to get other people in front of them. So, to block and all that. And that happened to me. And I ended up getting punched in a situation that had nothing to do with me. Got punched real hard in the stomach and went down like a bag of, like a bag of rice. So the four of them are hip hopping all around each other, tirando puño, punching, cursing, and mad people that were watching them there and filming ended up part of the fray. Because people these days, like I said, they will hop around the fight, put innocent people in the way, and then, people get hit. And, it's just like you become a casualty of your own nosiness. Like you don't know how to mind your own business, so now you're a part of the fight. Meanwhile, Mr. Ben, your boy was very smart. I was near a side street, and I was like, I can see and hear the bochinche and the revolu, but I'm able to like fade into the background of the alley of the side street and be safe. So this was like a champion fight. Like all four of them were going at it. One dude versus three girls. They were beating him up, but oh my God. He caught one girl in the face, like wham, right in the face. It was a perfect punch. Knocked her on the ground. All of them were fighting. It was like, it was a sight. I have not seen like a ghetto brawl like that in a minute. Which is surprising, as close as I am to Fordham Road. These things probably happen every other day. Pero, ya yo estoy viejo, I'm old. Like I said, I don't stop to see those fights. But I wanted to today because I was bored. And not that I'm advocating violence or saying that violence is entertaining, but this was like the fight. and they were going at it. The cops got involved, and you know that it's a heated fight when the cops get involved and the cops become a part of the fight and people were throwing punches and hitting cops. I was like, the minute I saw one white cop get hit, I was like, they're going to jail for the rest of their lives. You hit a white cop in New York City, you are going to jail for the rest of your life. I was like, I hope you enjoy 16 to life, because that's how long you're going to be in jail in New York City if you punch a white cop. So it was the brawl of the century. I have not seen that. The juca is a little dry. Like oldest juca. It was probably really good during lunchtime when they first made it. It's a little dry and a little old tasting, but I'm dipping it in the broth of the stewed chicken, and it's revitalizing it. Yo, people were throwing punches. The guy was throwing some good punches. So were the girls. Folks, I grew up in the hood. I grew up in Harlem. Let me. There are some people. I live in the Bronx. I've been living in the Bronx for close to 30 years. I was born and raised in Harlem. I'm a Harlem boy from West Harlem. I grew up across the street from City College. I grew up in a part of West Harlem that's called Hamilton Heights. Across the street from City College, they used to call it Harlem University. Just so that people get it straight. As much as I call out the Bronx, because I've lived here nearly 3 decades, I am a Harlem boy. I'm a Manhattan boy. And when I grew up in the hood, guys fought guys, girls fought girls. There was never any mixed mixed sex, mixed gender identity fighting. In fact, if you were a boy and you fought a girl, you were a punk, you were a wimp, you know. You were supposed to get your sister to fight that girl. You know what I'm saying? And if that girl whooped your ass, forget about it. You had to like leave the state, you know. All that patriarchal, sexist type of nonsense. But it's good to see nowadays that fights are more integrated and that there's more equity and equality and more gender representation. But yo, these kids, I find it again hilarious. Back in my day, you fought and you just went after each other. These people were hopping all around, purposefully getting behind people to use them as human shields, all that. Again, the example of me being nosy, getting involved in a fight that had nothing to do with me ending up getting punched in the stomach super hard. But yeah, they were hopping around, cursing, fighting, throwing punches. One girl threw her shoe. It was just Fordham Road excellence. Fordham Road realness. Again, there were all maybe teenagers to early 20s yelling and screaming, fuck you, this and that. I could not really contextually get like an understanding of what the conflict was about. You know, there's the counselor in me. I need context. I need to know why there's all this aggression. But they weren't exactly stopping and using their words. They were just hopping around, punching at each other. And I was like, wow, I have not seen something like this in a minute. I'm going to start maybe a series here, similar to the Parque Chronicles. For those of you who don't know, I used to have a series called the Parque Chronicles. Right there, I'm pointing at a window in my room, my bedroom. And I can see this big old park that's outside there. And I've oftentimes have done mukbangs talking about the craziness that happens in that park. I haven't done a Parque Chronicle in a while because the park has been real civilized and real calm. I may have to do something like Fordham Road Street Tales or something like that. a lot happens in Fordham I've never talked to you guys about. I work really close to Fordham Road, you know. And Fordham Road is where my Walgreens is, and so occasionally I have to go there, and I'm gonna mukbang a little bit about what happens in the craziness of the Bronx, but I have not seen a brawl like that in a minute. And I'm glad that I exercised. Okay, I know it's horrible. I'm watching young people fight, and if that's nothing about that is good. But again, a mí no me gusta el bochinche, a mí no me gusta el revolú, pero me entretiene. I don't like gossip and I don't like drama, but it's entertaining. And, you know, if you're a boxing fan, you probably would have really have loved this fight. Oh my God. Just like I told you, the guy got a girl real good. One girl got him with a kick to the back that, oh my God. I was like, oh, I can feel that in my kidneys. She gave some ninja take back the night. I watched Power Rangers type of super kick to his back. That was like, ooh, I felt like I heard his vertebrae crack. Yo, they were going in. I don't know. Go, you guys, with all the people filming, go to World Star and do a search on Fordham Road fights, and I'm sure that thing will pop up. Somebody's gonna upload that. So, frito lovers, I'm gonna finish all this delicious food off camera. There you go, a nice big ghetto AF mukbang. Oh yeah. The juca, once it's inside the stew, the broth of the stew, it saves it. I think by itself it's too dry, too old tasting, but so frito lovers, I hope to bring you another Fordham Road street tale, a Fordham street tale soon. Hopefully it'll be more positive than the gang fight, the massive four-way fight that I saw. So frito lovers, go out there, go taste for yourself, mind your own business, or at least exercise. If you can't mind your own business and you're nosy like me, exercise good judgment. Stay out of the fray. Go out there, go taste for yourself. Como siempre, mucho, mucho amor.